Hey guys, so I look really gross, but I thought this would be a good time to make a video because Juliana's having a nap. So, this is a video of how I almost died during pregnancy. I'm no way trying to get attention because some people have been writing on my ass, oh, she's just making this video for attention, no one really cares. And, like, if you don't care, you don't need to watch the video. But, you know, I had a lot of people that wanted to see this, so I'm gonna make it, as I said I would. So, I found out I was pregnant. Well, I honestly thought I was pregnant at, like, 2 weeks, but it wouldn't show up on a test that soon, so I took a test at 3 weeks, and it said pregnant. And, you know, I was the typical girl, like, took a belly shot, like, oh my god, I already have a bump. But I really didn't. Like, I thought I did, but I didn't. So, I didn't start actually really getting a bump until I hit around 24 weeks. I mean, I had a little bit of pudge, but it just looked like I was chunky, like getting a belly. So, around the 12-week mark is when I started to get really bad symptoms. I did not have any morning sickness up until 12 weeks. As soon as I hit that 12-week mark, when they say that's supposed to stop, I got mornings, I puked. And then I puked so much, like, I had to carry a bag of cinnamon around because I would, if I'd smell anything other than cinnamon, I would literally hurl and puke. So, it was winter, and it was really sucky because I live in an apartment, and I would have to take my dogs out all the time, and I'd have to bundle up, and it really sucked. So anyways, if you like try to base these dates, they might not come out like properly because I don't remember everything that well. I have a really, really bad memory. So the dates are kind of off, but I would say around 23 weeks is when besides, like, all the normal pregnancy symptoms that you're supposed to have, I was fine up until 23 weeks. All of a sudden, one night, I had a bath, did my regular stuff, and after my bath, I got really, really cold. Like, it felt like I was catching a flu. Like, a really bad flu. Where, like, your head hurts, your eyes hurt, everything on your body hurts. So I just was like, oh, this really sucks. Like, I'm pregnant and I'm catching a flu. So I lied in bed and I tried to sleep, and it just got worse. Within 5 hours, I was like, I could not move any of my, like, limbs. I couldn't move my finger without crying. Like, I don't know what was wrong. My whole body just killed. And I went to my mom. Well, I didn't go to her. I called her. I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't even eat ice without puking it up instantly. So I called my mom in the room, and I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, honey, I think it's just a flu. And I was like, trust me, I've had flus before. Like, this is more serious. I need to go to the hospital. So my mom's the type of person who thinks, like, you shouldn't run to the hospital over everything. So her friend took me. And I went in, and I had to go up in a wheelchair and be helped to pee in a cup to make, to see, because they need you to pee and see if you have any issues. And right away they said you have a really, really, really bad kidney infection, which was weird because I didn't have, like, any burning or anything like that. So it's like I said, I've never had a kidney infection. I didn't know much about it, but I grew to know. I had really bad back pain, like right kind of under your hips, but in the back and in the other side as well. And they did, like, the hitting, and I was, like, bawling. And she said, like, without even examining me, really, they said, we're going to have to keep you here and put you on antibiotics. So they did all the regular needles and everything, and they moved me over to the labor and delivery ward because I was pregnant, so I didn't have to wait emergency. When you're pregnant, you go right up. And they put me in a bedroom and started me on antibiotics, and I would have to be in there for a week and a half before I could stop them, and if things went well, I was able to go home. So I was there, and about on day 5, they kept pumping, because I couldn't eat, really, it was just coming back up. They kept pumping these big saline, like, there's like the little bags and then the big bags of saline into my body. Once a bag was done, they kept hooking up more, and I just felt so bloated. Like, I felt like I was about to explode. My stomach was so bloated from all this water they were pumping into me. And I told her, I was like, could you please slow down on that? Like, I feel really, really sick from it. And she's like, oh, like, it's supposed to help you, you're fine, that's what you're supposed to feel. So, I didn't really argue with her because she's the nurse. Around 3 in the morning, I was sharing a room, like there was a curtain, but I was sharing a room with a lady who had just had a baby. I couldn't move. I was so sick that I couldn't really do anything. Like, I didn't even really want to talk. I just wanted to lie there. And the lady who had just had her baby was next to me. And I was dozing off, and all of a sudden, I just couldn't breathe. Like, it just cut, like, my breathing. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't get air. So I kind of like tried to like move my hands and like make noise so that the girl next to me would hear. I couldn't reach the button to call for someone. I was in too much pain, and all of a sudden the girl goes, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I couldn't tell her how I was. So she got out of her bed, and she looked at me, and then she immediately called someone, and all of a sudden, like, 7 people rushed in out of nowhere, and I was still conscious. I mean, I wasn't able to breathe, but I was still there. They immediately put a mask over my face to help me breathe, and it didn't work. So they rushed me, they got another bed, moved me over, put me on this bed, and rushed me down to a different floor. I mean, at that point, they had this mask on me, and this girl just kept pumping, like, and I don't know, they were tearing off my clothes. Like, I couldn't say anything because I couldn't breathe. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to say anything anyways because they were trying to help me survive. But they were trying to pump. Like, I remember pretty much everything about that. They rushed me down to this next floor, and they put me in this room, and they shoved a tube down my throat, and they told me, like, this is what needs to be done. Pretty much there's 3 stages of gas. There's the one that just goes on your face, then there's one that goes down your throat that helps you breathe, and then there's one that they put you to sleep, and that's like they knock you out so that you're unconscious for however long they need to, and it helps you breathe. So they put me on the second one because the first one wouldn't work. Sorry, this video is getting long. And they told me, well, I don't know, it was a really creepy room. It was just this room, like, of bright lights, like I was a dead body, and they were all just right there. And they started to put needles in my wrists. Like, they had to sew a needle through my artery to try to get my heart rate and all this blood pressure crap. That killed, because they were idiots, and like, is it okay if a student tries on you? And like, I can't freaking speak. So they just let the student try. They fucked up twice. And then finally the guy's like, okay, I'll just do it. And I was like, in my head, like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, excuse my language, but ow. Because they